What is up, guys? I'm live from a windstorm right now, coming live. No, for real. What is up, guys? You see the video, you know what we're talking about. How I turn loneliness into my secret weapon, and how you can use loneliness to your advantage. So yeah, it's a little bit windy. We're just going with the natural elements. So yeah, I'm not gonna let that stop me. I wanted to get this video out. I got my caffeine, got my Ghost. I'm gonna get a little bit of this in me, and then we're gonna talk. We're gonna cook up together. I'm feeling good about this one. First, I want to talk about loneliness, how we view it, and then we're going to talk about how you turn it into our advantage. So just stick with me, because by the end, you're going to be like, damn, he's right. Now I'm about to use this to my advantage. So loneliness. What's like common loneliness? When we talk about loneliness, like the first thing people think of usually is, oh, I'm by myself. I don't have friends. I don't have a partner. I'm alone, I don't talk to anybody. And then you associate this with things like, I'm weird, I'm a loser, I'm low value, I'm not doing something right, my life sucks. Okay, that's like the common general connotation. When we talk about loneliness, that's what we generally think. Like me sitting here right now at this little cabana thing, at this little pavilion, right? I'm alone, there's no one around me. All right, but what is real loneliness? This is something I was thinking about. Loneliness is feeling without. All right, it's feeling without, not having something. It's not having something or things or someone that makes you feel without. You're gonna start to kind of see what I'm talking about, and I'm gonna give you some examples that tie back in with me, because I like kind of giving you the example, and then you turn it into your own version and you run away with it and you use that shit to your own advantage. When I was in school, when I was in high school, I had friends. I had a lot of friends. I had friends in my own grade group. I had friends in the grade group above me and below me, right? And I continued to have these friends after I graduated and went into college. Most of them, okay? But just because you have a lot of friends, or girls, because I had girls, like I didn't have any issues with that part, it doesn't mean that you can't be lonely. And this is where the keys are gonna start to come in. This is where it's gonna hit. Yes, I was hanging out with all my friends. I was partying every weekend, sometimes 3 days a week, okay? And I was, I didn't have problems with girls, I'll just say that. I was just doing my thing, and I was, working a part-time job, the usual kind of can't wait to get to the weekend, can't wait to party and just do it all over again, right? And throughout this time, I never really knew what I wanted to do with my life, what my future had in store, and I wasn't really preparing for it in any sort of way. Like, I created my fitness account, but I still didn't know, like, what am I gonna do? Like, what is my plan? I don't know what I want. But I knew I wanted to work hard and do something. Eventually got to that point, and I was getting tired of just living for the weekend, getting drunk every weekend, just, chasing girls and doing the same things on cycle, on repeat. I started to feel lonely in the sense of I was without like a purpose. Like I had, the friends, the girls, whatever, but I didn't feel like I had like a purpose. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So that's why I decided to go sober, right, over a couple years ago. I was like, all right, I'm not gonna give myself any excuses to why I can't achieve my goals, kind of chase my dreams, if you say. That was the start. And it was easy for me to quit alcohol. Right? I wasn't really addicted to it. So then when your friends are all partiers and drinkers and you quit drinking, you stop hanging out with them as much. And I would still hang out with these friends sometimes. I would go, but I would just be sober. So during those days closer to the time leading up to when I quit drinking, I was feeling lonely, in the sense that, like, this isn't what I want to be doing. Like, I want more for myself. Not that I was saying, like, I'm better than the people that do drink or anything like that. It's just, like, I felt without. I was feeling without. Like, this isn't what I want to be doing. My time kind of shifted away from hanging out with these people a lot. And I started being more lonely, right? In the common sense, where I was by myself more often. But this is where you truly find yourself. You can choose to believe, oh, you're by yourself, you're lonely, what am I doing, what's wrong with me, why am I doing this? Or you can look at it like I was doing, like what I did is, now I have the time to fully take care of my mental health, my physical health. I get to explore my passions, try new things, figure out what I want to do with my life. What things do I like to do? What things do I not like to do? I've experimented with my YouTube in the past. I tried some shit, it didn't work. But when you are more lonely, you have the advantage of time. You have so much more time versus when you're just trying to hang out with all your friends every single day, and then you go out on the weekend with your friends, you get all fucked up and you drink, you feel like shit throughout the week, so you don't even really have good time to do stuff, to figure out your life, to figure out what you want to do. It's different if you get a job, you get that, we'll just say a basic job, and you're like, okay, this is what I want to do the rest of my life. I'm fine with this. Like, if you're cool with just drinking on the weekends and hanging out with your friends and you're happy, you're truly happy, then that's awesome. You got to figure it out. But it's okay if you're not happy doing that stuff. There's nothing wrong with a regular job, but there's nothing wrong with not wanting something like that, or wanting more, or wanting to do something else. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make you better than someone or worse than somebody, is what I'm saying with that. So I was feeling alone. I was feeling lonely even when I was surrounded by all these people. And then I decided to take all my time back for myself and work on myself. I became fine without drinking, without using coping mechanisms. I took care of my mental, my physical, and then I started putting all my time into my passions. And I don't feel lonely. Yes, I'm not surrounded by a lot of people, but I don't feel without now, because I love who I am. As corny as that sounds, I'm confident in myself. I'm doing what I want with my own time. I'm working on the things that I love and care about, my passions, and I'm trying to make the most out of my life. I'm trying to live my life how I want to live it. So I don't feel lonely now. I have a girlfriend that I love and care about. There is a primal instinct that we all have, that we want like companionship and partnership. So there is something to be said about that. But if you're younger, you don't really need to, that's something that you can kind of wait a little bit to worry about. As you start to work on yourself and figure yourself out, that kind of stuff will come. Like, you can't just sit in your room all the time by yourself and stare at a computer screen. But as you're working on yourself, you're figuring it out, you're exploring, you're trying new stuff, new hobbies, new interests, learning new skills, new job, whatever it is, you're gonna naturally come in contact with other people. You're gonna be surrounded by others, and that's where that kind of stuff starts to fall in place. So what I'm challenging you to do is change how you view your loneliness, because there's nothing more than I love to just sit in my room, put on a good TV show, put my phone down, not be on my phone, just kind of relax, chill, watch a good show, eat some good food. If my girlfriend's with me, it's even better, right? I'm just having my peace, my privacy, and just solitude. I love that. Like, that's the best. That's like my favorite thing. I'm challenging you to change how you view your loneliness. It kind of stems from things that I've talked about before. Like, it can stem from insecurity. If you don't believe in yourself, if you're not confident in yourself, you're trying to get that validation from others. Oh, I feel lonely unless I have a girl with me that's making me feel like I'm worth something. Or if those people that I view as those cool people, if they don't invite me to the party, if I'm not their friends, then there's something wrong with me. I'm not enough. You see what I'm saying? Like, change how you view it. It's not as bad as you think it is. Think about where it's stemming from. If you are truly by yourself, by not your own choice. Like, for me, it was, it was my choice to take my time back, take my energy back, invest all of that back into myself. If you're starting on the other side, if you're starting from the opposite side, change how you view it. Use all that time to your advantage. It's hard because if you're using coping mechanisms, like I said, if you're slapping band-aids on it, it's going to be hard to get out of that hole, that feeling of being lonely. Because it is true what they say, you got to be able to love yourself first. It's going to be hard to love yourself if you're using all that stuff to make you feel better, to make you feel good. You gotta slowly work on getting rid of that stuff, whether it's cold turkey or a slow cutback. Wean off of that, get rid of that shit. You don't need it. And while you're doing this, get your bag up, get a job if you have to, a part-time job. In your spare time, start doing more things that you just like to do, different hobbies. Go try some shit. Take care of your physical health and your mental health. Like I said before, that sets the foundation to feel better every day. As you're working on this, figure out what you're more passionate about. Think about your future, what you want to be doing later down the road, and then figure out the steps to get there. And then that's what you work on in your spare time. Use that loneliness to your advantage, and then the people will come. The people will come as you work on yourself. You'll start to radiate an energy around you. There's gonna always be people that don't radiate towards you, and then there's always gonna be people that like your kind of energy. No matter how good you look, no matter how good you don't look, there's always gonna be people that like being around you. There's always gonna be people that they don't want to be around you. It's the same for me. Being by yourself is different than lonely, is kind of the message that I'm saying here. Being by yourself can be a really good advantage. The feeling of lonely is something separate. Lonely is feeling without. That's what I wanted you to get from today's video. Thank you guys, appreciate all the support. We blasted through 600 and 700 subs very easily, so I know we could build this bitch up quick if I just stuck with it and you guys got my back. So take care of yourself, do what you gotta do. See you in the next video.